WWE's Saturday night's main event, the January edition, is in the books, which means the next big stop for WWE on the road to WrestleMania 41 is the 2025 Royal Rumble next weekend in Indianapolis. And based on the results from Saturday night's main event, based on the build over the past 6 months or so in the company, this is setting up to be one of the best, if not the best, men's Royal Rumble match in history. Will it live up to the hype? Well, we're going to find out, because it really is all about the build, and it's about the different storylines and everything intertwining. That's been the whole story of the Triple H era so far, is their ability to tie all these people into similar storylines, not just have one story going for someone, but have multiple stories going for someone. And the best match to sort of let all that pay off is a Royal Rumble type setting, because you do have 30 men who enter, 1 through 30, all sorts of possibilities in terms of who could be in there together, who could throw a certain person out. There are so many ways you can go about this, and I think the way that they've now done this, and if you look at everything that is sort of built to this point and all the big sort of drama and the big stories that they have going into this year's Royal Rumble, this is why it could be the best ever. Think about this. We're starting with one that you just simply don't get every year, right? And that is the farewell tour of a legend in John Cena. So we're starting with that. That's your starting point, is that this is a once-in-a-lifetime sort of scenario here where you have John Cena going into the 2025 Royal Rumble with the opportunity to secure his spot in the WrestleMania main event one last time before he hangs up the boots for good and have a chance to break that record for the 17th World Championship victory. John Cena has that opportunity in this year's Royal Rumble. We've said there are other ways for him to get there. He can go through the Elimination Chamber and all that. But this is your big top story, is John Cena having that chance. One of the greatest WWE superstars of all time. In some people's eyes, maybe the best WWE superstar of all time. This is his one last chance to get to WrestleMania and win the world title for a 17th time. That's your main story, right? But think about all the different ones that play off of John Cena. You know, when you think about everybody else who's involved in this match now, and everything that could sort of tie into John Cena's story here. There are many people, as I said, who think he's the favorite to win this match. If you look at the betting odds out there, he probably is the favorite to win this match. But if you look at everything else and how they built up the Rumble, it's not just a once-in-a-lifetime scenario now with John Cena. It's CM Punk's story. He also wants to main event WrestleMania, but not for the last time, maybe. It could be for the last time, but also for the first time, right? Cena's had many opportunities before. CM Punk wants to get there for the first time. Could that mean it's time for CM Punk to call in that favor to Paul Heyman and to make sure that he secures that spot at WrestleMania 41? So Punk's story ties into Cena's story, doesn't it? And then both of their stories tie into the biggest story, perhaps in WWE over the past little while, and that is the Bloodline saga, but it's also Roman Reigns versus the world. CM Punk and Roman Reigns, we know, teamed up at Survivor Series in November. And that is where the favor came from in terms of CM Punk saying that Paul Heyman owes him one. Will Punk call in that favor here? Perhaps. I've got some thoughts on that as we head into the Royal Rumble and make our predictions this week. But if you go beyond that, you know, Roman Reigns and John Cena, we know, have history. And Roman Reigns, one of the top superstars of all time. John Cena, one of the top superstars of all time. These two going face-to-face in the Royal Rumble with the highest stakes, perhaps for both of them. Reigns wants to get his championship back from Cody Rhodes. But it's not just that easy for Roman Reigns, right? Think about all the people who are in this match out to stop Roman Reigns. Drew McIntyre, the bloodline hunter, is basically what he's become. We've said that many times. McIntyre would love nothing more than to prevent Roman Reigns from getting that opportunity. Seth Rollins would perhaps love nothing more than prevent Roman Reigns or CM Punk that opportunity to get to the WrestleMania main event, because Rollins wants it back. He wants to get back there after losing that World Heavyweight Championship. This now is his chance to have his eyes on the prize and get back to the biggest stage of them all and win a world title. Because we remember what happened to him this past year, WrestleMania 40. So Rollins has the motivation that ties in with Reigns, given the history there, and Punk and Cena. But again, Sami Zayn is also kind of that wild card now, right? Look at the interactions that Sami Zayn has had with Drew McIntyre and Seth Rollins, and of course, someone else who could wind up in this match, Kevin Owens. See how everything connects together, and this is why it's been so good. Kevin Owens could find his way into this match. Would it surprise any of us if Cody Rhodes retrieves the championship belt multiple championship belts perhaps, from the ladder match where he will defend against Kevin Owens at the Royal Rumble. If Cody retrieves both those belts and Owens is sitting there with no path forward, of course it's not going to surprise if Owens finds his way into the Royal Rumble match, right? Could certainly happen. And of course, Owens has history with all these people too. He's got the issues with Roman Reigns. He's got the issues with CM Punk. He's got the issues with Sami Zayn. It just keeps going. But perhaps Randy Orton could make his return to connect the dots there with Kevin Owens. And of course, the history with John Cena and Roman Reigns and CM Punk. And here we go again. It all connects, all the history between all these top superstars. And we've not even talked about Jacob Fatu looking like an absolute monster that he is coming out of Saturday night's main event. An incredible sequence that they put together with the whole Braun Strowman thing. Jacob Fatu looks like an unstoppable beast. Who's going to eliminate Jacob Fatu and prevent him from going to WrestleMania 41 and being in the main event? Solo Sikoa has his own story arc here now. He's got to try to get, that championship back. He's lost his place as the tribal chief. The Ulafala's gone. What's Solo Sikoa going to do? And so these are all so interesting in terms of every single person, in terms of that top tier of people. Now, sure, there are going to be some people in there whose sole purpose is to get eliminated. Like, they're not going to have, that huge kind of shining moment. But all those people right there, I mean, that's 10-plus superstars, top-tier superstars that have a great story going into this particular Royal Rumble match. And then, again, it keeps going, right? Penta could get his first Royal Rumble opportunity. Not saying he's going to win the thing, but that's a story in and of itself. The surprises, we mentioned, maybe Randy Orton coming back could be a surprise a bit. Rhea Ripley hinted after Saturday night's main event that maybe she could go into the Men's Royal Rumble. Chyna's done it before, we know that. Perhaps Rhea comes in to eliminate Dominic Mysterio. These are all possibilities, right? Think about the TNA partnership that's been the big news over the past couple of weeks. Could you believe in Joe Henry? If you do, he may wind up in this Rumble too. So I just think the setup here, there have been a lot of great Royal Rumbles. Again, I am an old school wrestling fan. I love the 1992 Royal Rumble. To me, still the top tier when it comes to the best Royal Rumble matches ever. 2001, tremendous stuff. I mean, you just keep going down the line, right? I mean, go back to the one that the Undertaker won. What was that, 2007? There have been a lot of great Royal Rumble matches over the years. But the setup for this one may be as good as I've ever seen for any Royal Rumble in history. And it's just because they've used logical storytelling to be able to have all these different people interacting throughout this road to get to the Royal Rumble. It's not just doing it 4 weeks before, right? You can't put all that together for the next pay-per-view cycle or PLE cycle and just start doing it after December, right? No, they've done the work for a long time now in this Triple H era to build to this being such a special match that I think I would be shocked if this thing is disappointing, because they have so many different people that they can have interact. They can have so many of those big showdowns, right? We've always talked about, the Hulk Hogan Ultimate Warrior, like the, Bianca Belair, Jade Cargill, like these kind of ones where you have that two people come together and all of a sudden they're just standing there, other people are down, and the crowd's oohing and eyeing, right? Because they know what it means when these two people face off. It's something they've wanted to see. Think about how many of those in this match you are going to get. If they do this right, you could have so many memorable moments to where it all combines together to make this the best Royal Rumble match in the history of the company. That is what we're working with here as we head into this 2025 Men's Royal Rumble. It's the hottest period for WWE financially ever, right? I mean, just talk about what they've been putting together. They're selling out all the buildings. They're going to have a gazillion people in attendance here. I exaggerate a little bit, but you guys know the product is red hot right now. And so it deserves a Royal Rumble match like this, and credit to WWE for putting together, as I said, all these different little tidbits that are going to make this so much more interesting. There are some I've not even mentioned yet, right? We could keep going. We go all the way through with a lot of other people who have these potential top-tier interactions. Jey Uso just lost that opportunity, right, against Gunther. He's not the world champion, so Jey now has to try to find another way. Not saying he's going to win the Rumble, but, Jimmy's in there. How do they all interact with Reigns, and what does Sammy do? Like, there are so many things that you can work with here, and it's going to be an incredible atmosphere, I think, in Indianapolis for this 2025 Men's Royal Rumble, and it's because WWE has executed the storyline build to this match so well, and we'll see what they do on this, final edition of Raw, final edition of SmackDown before we get to next weekend's Royal Rumble. But I want to know what you guys think. What do you think? Could this be the best Royal Rumble match, men's-wise, in the history of WWE? Again, I still have my favorites. I'll wait and see and make that proclamation after we see this match. But I'm telling you right now, this may be the best build to any Rumble match in history, just based on the way they've done this and all the stakes that are certainly in play here when you've got what's on the line for Cena, what's on the line for Punk, what's on the line for Reigns, Rollins, McIntyre, Zayn, Owens, Sikoa, Fatu, potentially other people as well, right? It's an incredible setup here, and I think they're going to deliver something special on Saturday in Indianapolis. So you guys let me know what you think in the comments. What do you think? Could this be the best Royal Rumble match in history? What have you thought of the build to this match? We'll make our predictions later in the week. I appreciate you guys being patient. I've said, hey, I told you a couple months ago, welcome to a son into the world. A toddler dad life can be a little challenging at times in terms of having time to do as many videos as I want to. But it's Royal Rumble season. It's WrestleMania 41 season. I hope you guys are excited. Hit that subscribe button. Hit the like button as well. And again, I appreciate you watching as always. Let me know your thoughts on what you expect for the 2025 Royal Rumble. Will it be the best ever? What have you thought of the build? We'll make our predictions later in the week. Appreciate you guys watching. Let me know your thoughts on the 2025 Men's Royal Rumble match.